Hey everybody, so this week's topic was talking about Acanthosis Nigricans. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. To be honest, don't really have much of this symptom on my body, but I know that this is one thing that is definitely connected with PCOS and also with people who are diabetic. I have seen this in both sets of individuals who I've interacted with that do have this. I thought that I was maybe having it in my underarm area because I know that's one of the main areas affected, but actually that wasn't the case because I checked with my doctor to find out, and she said that was not what was happening. So unfortunately, I can't really speak to this week's topic. However, I know for me, the one thing that really affected my self-esteem through this whole thing was the additional hair that we can grow. I know that a lot of us have that as a symptom, and I think it affects everybody differently. And I know for a really long time I really let it sort of control my life and what I wear and what I do and whether or not I cut my hair off or grow my hair out. Depends kind of on my mood of how I'm feeling about it. So right now I'm feeling really out of sorts with it, so I'm gonna grow my hair back out. Last summer was like my summer of screw you, I'm gonna do what I want to do and I'm not gonna worry about what people in society think about it, so I cut all my hair off. But I think that this is gonna be one of those ebb and flow things where it's constantly like I get fine with it and then I'm not fine with it, because I think that when I was heavier and not really caring about all my symptoms and not really doing anything to treat it, it didn't bother me at all, because who was paying any attention to me? I was the 250-pound girl. I grew hair. I wasn't the most pleasant person or social, obviously, because I hated my life. So I didn't really have to worry about anybody being close enough to me to notice any of my symptoms. But now, that I'm thinner, I get a lot more attention. People pay a lot more attention to my face. According to my mother, it's not as noticeable as it is to me because it's my face, and obviously I see my face all the time and I know what it is. But for people who don't know me or don't know that I have anything, she says that, she doesn't think that it's as noticeable as it is in my head. And maybe that's the case, but the noticeability that's living in my head is so much bigger and gets bigger all the time. And I think every girl who has this is a side effect tries to figure out the best way to treat it, long term, short term. I know laser, hair removal, whatever, is supposed to be like the best thing for us to try because our hair gets darker and you have to have dark hair in order to get it. But it's expensive, and frankly, I am a broke, soon-to-be med school student, so it's not really the top of my priority to try to get that done. However, I have a boyfriend, and he sees my face, and he sees my body, and he sees me naked, and obviously I don't want him to get into an entire explanation of this symptom because I've had to explain all the other symptoms with the weird mood swings, which we've been having many of lately, and the diet that I have to follow that's, super strict, and I rarely detour from it unless it's really a special occasion. And I have a very big fixation, and I don't know if everybody else has that or not when they do this, but I am constantly so worried about putting weight back on. I do not ever want to be 250 pounds again, that it's almost become like a full-time job of watching my calories and working out and being militant about it, and sometimes it comes off as sounding condescending and bitchy, and I know more about weight loss than anybody else, and that's not the truth. I know more about weight loss for my body, and my body is very, very different and requires so many other things than a normal body does. I can say in later news, I have had to come off my birth control because my doctor wanted to do a 6-month checkup to see if my blood pressure had risen. She never mentioned this to me at our initial consultation, that would need to happen. She mentioned that I should come back in 6 months and upgrade to an IUD because it was better treatment for people with PCOS. And I wouldn't have to worry about taking a pill, but it was also $350, and I just couldn't see spending that kind of money. And I was on my birth control for a year, and all of a sudden it was like, well, we need to check your blood pressure. Well, I've been on it for a year. I'm pretty sure my blood pressure had skyrocketed. I would have known about it. So I got to go back and deal with that. But it's really hard to treat PCOS and get assistance when you can't afford health insurance, and who knows when that's going to happen. But I'm trying to figure out a way to handle that now. Maybe in the fall when my boyfriend's here and I've got an extra, $400 from rent to put towards something else. As you can see, I'm in workout gear. I'm getting ready to go do elliptical because I am on a 3-day suspension from running because I messed up my knee last week, and I can't put myself on a 3-day suspension from any kind of exercise, but my boyfriend can. So that is what I am doing. Obviously, I've been very stressed out lately, and when you're stressed out, your PCOS freaking flares up like a bitch. So I'm having skin issues this week. I know it doesn't look like it. This camera is very forgiving, I guess. Must be low quality. My parents and my sister are going through something, and I'm kind of stuck in the middle of that, and I still hate my job. I know domestic violence work is so important, but just listening to that stuff on a daily basis makes me so not happy. And my boyfriend is still not moved here and won't be here till July. So I've been spending way too much time alone. And being alone definitely is not a good thing for us because it gives you too much time to think and too much time to focus. And if you don't try to stay positive in what you're thinking about, it really just runs you ragged. So I'm trying to catch up on sleep. I'm trying to get back on my diet plan, which is obviously, it's a little hard right now because I haven't been paid for about a week and a half, so I'm having to hold out till Thursday. I at least do have a lot of lean protein in my freezer, and I bought a ton of vegetables last week to tide me over. It's more or less just the breakfast stuff. So I'm going to see about getting some yogurt today and some fruit, and that's just going to have to be how it is. PCOS, I am convinced, is not for poor people because vitamins, supplements, the medications we have to take, the Anika that we have to use to treat the extra hair, that stuff's expensive and it adds up. And if I was rich, I would be able to have the best treatment possible, but because I'm not, and I guess I would consider myself a working class individual, which is on the lower side of an income paying scale, it is ungodly hard to try to take care of PCOS symptoms, and I know I'm having trouble doing it. I am one of those people that I cannot ask for help. I don't like doing it. So medication is suffering, food is suffering, and I don't know, it just seems like a very hard time of the month right now for me, and I'm hoping it gets easier, and I'm certainly hoping that you all are having a much better week than I'm currently having right now. But again, anyone who has this this skin condition, you should definitely look, and keep up with what's going on. Make sure you are marking skin changes, anything that's showing up, creases, if it's starting to get thicker, if it's starting to look more velvety, and if you can get to a doctor, you should definitely try to do it, because that could mean something completely different that has nothing to do with your PCOS. It could be some other underlying, condition that needs treatment. And I think that skin is very important, especially with, if you are in the sun, because I know we need more vitamin D, but obviously if you're having a skin condition, you don't want to necessarily be out in the sun all day with that. So I think that it's just really important to keep up with what's going on with your body. And I think that we all should be keeping up with that. Anytime you have a symptom change, like I feel like my hair has gotten, thicker, it's showing up more, my skin is starting to act out, so I've got to get back on birth control because I did not notice these things when I was taking that, even though I hated taking it every day. I'd much rather do that than have my symptoms start getting out of whack. And I'm hoping that they figure something out for us sooner than later, because I don't know how long you're supposed to try to fight the fight and keep a good front and not feel upset about how your body looks, because I see a counselor once a week, and I've been seeing her since January, and it's self-esteem week, and I have a homework assignment from her. I'm supposed to pick all the body parts that I have problems with, and I have to try to put a positive spin on them. So instead of saying, man, my thighs are fat, or I don't like how my arms look, or I don't like this, I have to say that my thighs are luscious, or that they are strong, or they're sturdy, or whatever a more positive approach to my body is. And then I also have to sit down and think about all the messages in my head about what I was told from people, from friends, from whatever, about being heavy and why you can't be heavy. Like, if I weigh 250 pounds, I won't get a boyfriend. Well, I got a boyfriend. So I'm supposed to basically, I think, be rewiring my brain this week to start viewing where I'm at in my journey with progress and with pride, and to feel happy about it, because I've lost 100 pounds and I still feel crappy about it. And I know that there's so many of you and so many people in general who are struggling with weight, who would think that I sound like the biggest bitch ever to be whining about losing 100 pounds. And maybe it is, but once you get to a point, you just want to keep on going, and you want to get to the final destination of what that journey is. And right now I'm just sitting in limbo hanging out, and I need it to be done so I can start focusing on other things besides just losing weight, being healthy, stopping PCOS, ridding myself of cervical cancer, future, whatever. So I hope you guys are all having a very enjoyable Memorial Day weekend. I hope you're catching up on extra rest. I hope you fit in extra workouts, have some family time. If your family's not stressing you out, I'd vote for it. And I guess I will talk to you guys next Saturday. And I'm sorry I'm late with my video. My computer was all wonky yesterday. So have a good week.